Okay guys, morning. This episode has the potential to be spectacularly uninteresting because we're putting oil back. Well, we're starting the episode with oil, then we'll get on to doing things like putting the air filter back on and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to do the final drive first. It has the same oil as the engine, which is this semi-synth 1030. It takes 300 mils. You fill it up until it starts dribbling out of the overflow plug. Whoop. Yeah. So let's go and do that. There's my oil there. I came out of there. So there you go. I had to jigger a funnely thing because it's only an M8. If you can see that there. Around here is only an M8. So I just need to pour oil in here and hope it doesn't dribble out. Let me just try a wee bit first to make sure it doesn't. Well, the oil's definitely going into the engine. This is going to take fucking yonks. It is actually going in there. I think this might be a sometime later job. Mind you, I've cable tied my funnel on there. It doesn't seem to be leaking there. So the chances are we could throw some oil in there and just let it do its thing, and we could then fill up the rest of the bike there while that's dribbling away, because it's going to take ages to do that and it's definitely not leaking. So let me put some more oil in there and just let that do its thing. Happy days. Bear with me a moment. Okay, you can see here, since we last spoke, the wheels are back on, the swing arms back together, the brakes are back on, all of the plastics are back on. If we move forward, the front wheel is back on. Everything's all torqued up and good to go. If we go around here, air filter box is back on. So basically, as far as the bike is concerned, I have to put the final drive back together, the clutch and the variator and the belt and all that. The final drive is full of oil, the sump is full of oil, everything is oil tight, so that's all good in that department. I do need to put the exhaust back on, but I've noticed a problem with that, which I'll show you now. So just here you'll see there's a lovely crack down the underneath or the lower exhaust mount. To a certain extent it's cosmetic, because there are two further mounts up here, and they're hefty mounts, to be honest with you. But I've the exhaust off, and while I'm here I may as well just grind a groove into that and run a weld along it. So I'm going to do that now. I don't want to get my bench all covered in iron filings, so we've got some very slightly damp towels which will stop that all happening. So let's get started. I'll switch cameras, so I'll put this camera down. Eye protection and hand protection, people, especially eye protection. You only get two, and they're your lot. that's all we need there. All it needs is something to clean the well to. Just let me... There we are, good ground for my welder. Right, goes on there. This will probably give you really weird camera's there. It's just directly above. I'm wearing a radio mic here, so I'm sure we'll get really weird radio interference on the mic from the welder, but we'll see how we go. I don't know what that is. There we go. Let's turn this up a bit. And there's something else I want. Anti-spatter spray. I think that's just soapy water. Of course the welder's playing up because I haven't used it in about 10 years. Right, well that's actually all I need to do, so I can turn that off. And yes, I did have a mask on. Yes, it's a mess, and 2, I don't care. And 3, you can moan all you like about my welding. All it has to do is hold 2 bits of metal together, and it's doing that, so no. So that's that. I'll just tidy that up and throw a bit of paint over it. I have a screw to get out there, just there, which snapped, but there's enough on either side that I can screw it through. I'll just grind a slot in it and screw it through. And I do have M5, so that's not a problem there. So that'll do me for now. Once I get that back on, the exhaust back on, then I can start rebuilding the final drive. What I really need to do is I fill the bike with oil, and the oil level's way too high because it hasn't put the oil around the engine. So I need to get the engine started and get it running for 5 or 10 minutes to get oil around the engine. And apart from that, we're good to go. If I really push myself, so I could probably be riding this on Sunday, but I'm not going to, so there you go. Have fun, people. Remember, knee down, not arse down. Okay, the exhaust, I painted the exhaust last night and reassembled it today. So the weld is along there. It's tatty as fuck, but I don't care. And if you want weld porn, go onto YouTube and type in weld porn. All I want is it's stuck to that bit, that's fine. So we need to get the exhaust back on. It came off relatively easily. If we look down there, there was no clamp on it first start. I don't have a clamp, so I'm going to use a Jubilee clip. I don't even know how much this will compress. The original carbon and asbestos or rock wool gasket is there. As long as we can get it in and get it more or less to fit where we want it to go, I'm happy. As I said before, cosmetics aren't the issue on this bike. It's mechanical, well, not perfection, but as good as I can get it. Now, I noticed, hold on till I pick that back up again. I noticed yesterday when I had the exhaust bolt sitting through here, like so, and I noticed they all had spacers on them, like that. In fact, one of them had a bodge spacer, which is an M10 nut. I'm just looking at these. I need to give them a good clean up as well because they're bogging. This exhaust has definitely been down the road, which is why that's how this bracket got broken. You can see here round the plastic is badly cracked there, but it's holding on solid and it'll do fine. The bracket behind that was bent, and you can see it's scuffed there, it's scuffed there. Now, I think whoever tried to refit the exhaust didn't undo the downpipe, because you actually leave the downpipe loose, put the back box on this bit, and then adjust it all so as everything fits. And I think they've decided this doesn't fit anymore, we'll put spacers in to make it fit. Idiots. Anyway, look, I'm going to clean these bolts up because they're absolutely fucking minging. Look at that. Why? They're horrible. That's never been tight. That's really badly worn. Look at there. See how thin it is? Wonder if I've got an M10. I'll put that one on the bottom. That one's fine. Actually, I put that one on the top because the weight can be on the two bottom ones. Right. Bear with while I clean these up. I'll be back to you in a moment. No, they look slightly better. Only took a couple of minutes, give them a nice clean. They're not all covered in grease and crap anymore. Some people. Anyway, let's get on with it. Oh, yeah. Now, here we go. So, thank you. There's our downpipe there. I'm going to slacken that off a wee bit because it's a bit tight. Everything else is good to go here. Exhaust mounts onto those. So there's 3 there. 1, 2, 3. It's pretty solidly mounted, let's put it that way. So let's get a UJ and an M12. Sorry, a 12mm. They put some of these nuts in bloody awkward places. Where really only a UJ is where you're getting at them. There we go. So that's nice and loose, so we can get a good old wiggle about with that, and then tighten that up when it's in the right spot. Now all I need now is my, there we go there. I'll put that down there with that at the bottom. Yes, and that all went stupidly easily. Okay. Happy days. That was supposed to be a major faff, but here we go. 14. Now, there's an interesting thing. They're the wrong bolts, because that is bottomed out there. Unless it's so full of grease it's hydrolocked, because they really were covered in grease. Right, so we're going to have to use those spacers. It's not the ideal of it. Not the ideal solution, but it'll have to do. They're M10s. Do I have any big M10s? Do I have any big? I don't think I do have any big M10s. Nope. Right. Right, now down here. Right, that's the exhaust nice and tight up against that. And we can get that on there, just there. And then tighten those up. Perfect. Lovely jubbly. I think there's actually a cat inside that tailpipe, but I couldn't actually tell you. I'll tell you what there isn't, or I can't find anywhere, unless it's built into the exhaust port, is an O2 or a lambda sensor, but there must be one for the fuel injection. The O2 sensor, you can't see this. The O2 sensor where the exhaust bolts to the manifold, there's a flange and the O2 sensor's on that. Happy days. Right, okay. 49. Sorry, I'm looking for the torque values of the exhaust. The muffler mounting bolt, or the silencer mounting bolt. To see if you have the time, torque things up properly. And it'll actually make your life easier in the long run. Because as well as holding things in and stopping them unscrewing and what have you, torquing things up means they'll come back out again when you want to get them off again. And they'll not be welded in there forever. Top tip there. And it only takes about 20 seconds if you've got a torque wrench. That's how long it takes. Years and years and years ago, when I was a wet behind the ears kid doing cylinder heads on cars and things, I had to borrow torque wrenches because I couldn't afford them. And there was a guy that worked in the garage where in the company I worked for, which was a feed mill, and they had lorries for delivering the feed. And he always told me, when you're finished with your torque wrench, put it back down to the lowest setting. And to be honest with you, I can see the logic in that. It's whatever spring is in there isn't then under any stress. Although I noticed when I bought these ones, they said never turn it down into this, you see the dotted area. But other than that, away you go. Now, exhaust flares, stud. Exhaust pipe stud bolt is 9 Newton meters. That's hardly anything. It's very little indeed. But we've got the torque wrenches out. Let's do it properly. Although this will be a bit weird. Because using a UJ nine. Using a UJ, which you need to get up the stud bolt, will affect the torque a bit, but it's still going to be in and around where it should be. It's not going to be over tight, let's put it that way. and they're both fine. There we go. Right, I'm going to walk around here with this camera, and I hope you can see me because I can't see the screen of this camera. With that, the offside of the bike is now, apart from bodywork, is now complete. The next thing to do is going to be here, the clutch, the variator and the belt, and then we can actually, well, I could actually start the bike now because the muffler's on, although I've no air filter in. So the next thing is the clutch. I'm going to call this particular scene a wrap, and I'm going to have a look and see what's involved with the clutch. In theory it's just bolted on, but because I haven't done this before, I'll need to read the instructions. But we're nearly there, people. Happy days. Toodle pip for now.